Everybody deserves to be in a happy place. I feel that everybody should be able to speak the truth, no matter what that is. Be happy, and that's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to get this off my chest, really. And that's it.
Martell Holt is back in the public eye, but not for the reasons people might expect. It's not about new business ventures, television moments, or carefully managed appearances. This time, the attention is centered on something far more personal and emotional. What has everyone talking isn't just another piece of gossip or a passing rumor. It feels deeper than that. It feels real. At the center of it all is a heartfelt and very public appeal, a vulnerable moment directed toward the woman he once loved, lost, and now seems unable to move past.
Focus on the past. You can't see all the great stuff that I'm doing in the present. And I feel that being the father of her 4 children, she should want to be on a better page. She should want what's best for all of us, instead of just being so nitpicky and focus on all these small little things that happened so long ago.
Melody Shari was once seen as the other half of a relationship that many viewers believed was strong, driven, and full of shared goals. For years, audiences watched their story play out on screen, thinking they were witnessing a union built on loyalty, business ambition, and a future carefully planned together. But now, after another one of Martell's relationships has quietly ended, something feels different. His voice sounds calmer, more thoughtful. His tone carries regret. His words feel heavier, more emotional than before. And in a move that has surprised many people, he appears to be publicly asking for another chance. It's a moment that feels vulnerable, almost like he's looking back at his own choices and shaking his head at himself, realizing too late what he may have lost.
You always doing. You was doing 3 days ago in Houston. What is you blowing up and saying all these inaccuracies for to these people? You always doing that. You always doing. No, it ain't accurate. No, it's not actually accurate. You said to me that when we were married, I was going to hotels cheating on you. That's a goddamn lie.
I didn't say you wanted to.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say that you was.
Yes, you did.
And
you said it multiple times.
There's a possibility, because me.
Well, we know you were cheating.
It's okay. Okay. I'm sorry for that.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Not sorry.
I knew they was going to destroy what we had. All this. It wouldn't have been like it is.
Love and Marriage Huntsville introduced the world to Martell Holt and Melody Shari. They didn't just appear as husband and wife. They looked like a dynamic team. They were ambitious, business-driven, family-focused, and seemingly united in every goal they pursued. On camera, their chemistry felt effortless. Their partnership looked inspiring. To many, they represented loyalty, hustle, and shared dreams. But reality behind closed doors was far more complicated. As their careers expanded and fame grew, pressure slowly began to build. Managing marriage, parenting, entrepreneurship, and public scrutiny at the same time created emotional strain that wasn't immediately visible. While audiences saw laughter, milestones, and celebrations, deeper tensions were quietly forming. Melody continued to present herself with grace and composure, supporting her husband and protecting the image of their family. She believed in commitment. She believed in standing by her partner. She believed in preserving what they had built together. However, truth has a way of surfacing. Whispers of betrayal gradually grew louder until they could no longer be ignored. When Martell's affair became undeniable, it didn't just damage the relationship, it fractured the very foundation of trust. For Melody, the pain went beyond infidelity. It was about feeling disrespected. It was about realizing that the emotional safety she valued had been compromised. It was about understanding that love without honesty cannot survive. Choosing to walk away was not an easy decision. It meant letting go of someone she once deeply loved. It meant separating families, restructuring her life, and shielding her children from emotional instability. It required strength, resilience, and a willingness to rebuild from the ground up. Meanwhile, Martell appeared outwardly confident. In interviews and public appearances, he maintained a composed image. He projected the idea that he was moving forward, but beneath that exterior, the absence of his former partner created a void. Losing Melody wasn't just about losing a marriage, it meant losing the person who had shared his journey, his successes, his struggles, and his rise. Soon after the divorce, he entered another relationship, seemingly determined to start fresh. Social media posts and public outings suggested a new chapter. It looked like he was proving he could move on, yet emotional stability never fully returned. The relationship faced public tension, visible disagreements, and constant scrutiny. Over time, the energy shifted, the excitement faded, the connection weakened, and eventually that relationship quietly ended as well. That's when something changed. Instead of retreating into silence, Martell began expressing himself more openly. His tone softened, his words became reflective. He spoke about family, about lessons learned, about the weight of his past choices. In interviews and public moments, there was a noticeable vulnerability, and gradually it became clear that his thoughts repeatedly circled back to one chapter of his life, the one he had with Melody. During a particularly emotional public appearance, his shift was undeniable. The confidence that once defined him seemed replaced with humility. He spoke about missing having his family together. He acknowledged wishing he had made different decisions. He admitted that success and independence felt incomplete without emotional grounding. Most striking of all, he openly stated that losing Melody was the greatest mistake of his life. The reaction was immediate. Clips spread rapidly online. Some viewers sympathized, seeing a man who had finally confronted his own actions. Others questioned whether the timing, following another failed relationship, indicated genuine growth or simply loneliness and regret. But perhaps the most powerful response came through silence. Melody chose not to publicly react. She did not engage in emotional exchanges. She did not comment. Instead, she continued focusing on her children, her businesses, and her personal growth. Her journey reflected strength and independence. Rather than revisiting past wounds, she invested in healing. Rather than responding to public pleas, she prioritized peace. That contrast became the heart of the story. Watching someone you once shared your life with move forward calmly and confidently can be more painful than conflict. It forces deep reflection. It highlights what was lost. It removes the illusion of control. Martell's vulnerability suggested realization, an understanding that some mistakes carry lasting consequences. His public confession did not carry arrogance or defensiveness. It carried regret. It carried accountability. Yet regret alone does not restore trust. Words alone cannot rebuild a foundation that has been fractured. Time may allow growth, but growth does not always mean reunion. Now, years later, both individuals appear transformed, but in different directions. Martell seems to be looking backward with reflection and remorse. Melody appears to be moving forward with clarity and peace. And that may be the most powerful lesson within this story. Closure does not always come through dramatic conversations or reconciliations. Sometimes it arrives quietly, through self-development and emotional distance. Sometimes healing means choosing not to respond. Sometimes strength is demonstrated in silence. Whether this moment becomes the beginning of redemption or remains a final realization, one truth stands firm. Love demands respect, honesty, and responsibility. When those elements are broken, rebuilding is never simple. As the public continues to watch, one question remains unanswered. Is this vulnerability the start of a genuine transformation, or is it simply the painful awareness that some losses cannot be undone? Only time will reveal what happens next, but for now, the contrast speaks volumes, one expressing regret, the other embodying peace.